welcome the band The Gracious Few to our WDHA studios. Woo! Kevin Martin is here, Chad Taylor is here, Sean Hennessy is here, and they are ready to play. Now let me reset a little bit. If you're not familiar with The Gracious Few, do you mind if I call you a supergroup? We have a lot of these bands that are sort of, you know, coming together with other members of other bands.
For us, we're just a band.
Just a band.
We're just an American band.
Well, let's talk about your, you know, the past bands. Of course, we have Kevin from Candlebox and the rest of the guys from the band Live, and also you've got Sean from Candlebox. How does the band come together? Were you guys friends before? And the thing I find very interesting is Live and Candlebox were definitely bands that in the 90s sort of led that alternative revolution, that real sound, although this record is like really got that real kind of hard-edged classic rock sound. So start with how you guys met and then tell me a little bit about the sound of the band.
Well, the first time I met Chad and Patrick and Chad from Live was back in '93. They came through Seattle and we hung out and had a few drinks and tore up a dressing room and kept in touch for years. Played several shows together. We played Dennis Rodman's New Year's Eve party one year in Chicago, and so we've been friends a really long time.
So you guys definitely had shared influences, I would imagine, because when I first put this great self-titled debut, you know, in the player, I was like, man, it's got a real. Chad was saying that he's a Zeppelin fan, sort of off mic before, and you can really feel that influence. It's very hard, powerful. Almost classic rock influenced. Obviously, you guys would be right in that sort of, you know, age group for loving those bands of your past, and definitely sounds very different from, you know, from Candlebox and from Live. So, how did the influences sort of come into play on this collection?
I think that for me, in The Gracious Few, if you had been a Live fan or a Candlebox fan in the past, that my theory about bands really holds up, which is that bands are really about the unit, and that whether you change out one guy or two guys or whatever really does change the entire feel of the band. That's why I like Vintage Kiss. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Agreed.
But anyway, so I think that, you know, with The Gracious Few, all of a sudden, yeah, it's the same rhythmic core of, you know, Chad, Pat, and I playing, but you put in the leads of Sean Hennessy and then the vocals of Kevin Martin, and of course their musical influences into what we do. And also, I think it changes the dynamic of the band.
We've always talked about the excitement level of playing music and where it loses itself. And generally what I find is when you're playing with friends, people that you have known for a long time, you care about, you have a mutual respect for, that makes the energy easy. It makes it exciting, makes it fun. I think if you watch any of the YouTube videos that are out there, which there are a ton, which is surprising. I mean, we're having a great time out there, and I think people are recognizing that. And you know, it's all part of the soul of the band. And you know, not that Candlebox didn't have fun in the early days. It just was a different band. I wasn't friends with those guys. We actually fell together. It was a happy accident of things, of sorts. But you know, we became friends over the years and made records. But this is a different thing. Like, I've known these guys so long. I know what their tics are. I know what their idiosyncrasies are. And they've got plenty of them, as do I. So I mean, we have a laugh all the time, and that's the best part of it.
Kevin Martin, Chad Taylor, and Sean Hennessy from The Gracious Few, thank you so much for stopping by. I know you guys are super busy today. You're going back to New York and just running all over the place, and we are so happy that you came to play live in studio.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. The Gracious Few.